Drops the sub.
Strawberry.
Sylvia Stout would not take the garbage out. She'd scour the pots and scrape the pans, candy the yams and spice the hams. Although her daddy would scream and shout, she simply would not take the garbage out. And so it piled up to the ceilings, coffee grounds, potato peelings, brown bananas, rotten peas, chunks of sour cottage cheese. It filled a can and covered the floor, cracked the window and blocked the door. With bacon rinds and chicken bones, drippy ends of ice cream cones. Prune pits, peach pits, orange peels, globby glumps of cold oatmeal, pizza crusts and withered greens, soggy beans and tangerines. Crusts of blackbird buttered toast, gristly pieces of beefy roast. And so the garbage rolled on down the hall, raised the roof, and broke the wall. Greasy napkins, cookie crumbs, globs of gooey bubble gum, cellophane from green bologna, rubbery blubbery macaroni, peanut butter caked and dry, curdled milk and crusts of pie, moldy melon and dried up mustard, eggshells mixed with lemon custard. Cold French fries and rancid meat, yellow lumps of cream of wheat. And the garbage reached so high, it touched the sky. All the neighbors moved away. None of her friends came to play. And finally, Sarah Cynthia Stout said, "All right, I'll take the garbage out." But of course it was too late, for the garbage had already crossed the state. From New York to the Golden Gate, there in the garbage she did hate. For Sarah faced an awful fate that I cannot right now relate. Because the hour is much too late, all children remember Sylvia Stout and all
flowers for Mama. Papa brought flowers for Mama today and all the grown children, but it's not Mother's Day. I don't have no money, not even a dime, but I brought Mama flowers like I have all the time. Every day I pick flowers from this pretty hill, a small box of daisies and a few daffodils. I bring them to Mama at the end of the day and say, "Flowers for Mama, here's Mama's bouquet." They brighten her face and she'd hold me close. She'd say they were more precious than a beautiful rose. Mom wasn't... Now Mama was lying there, yes, they tell me she passed away, and she was surrounded by flowers that outshine my bouquet. I know mine aren't fancy, but still, all the while, they were placed in her hands, and I know I saw Mama smile. Flowers for Mama, I picked them today, not very much, just a simple bouquet. Mama wasn't so fancy, but up there above, she's the prettiest flower in God's garden of love.
Cremation of Sam McGee. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold, and the Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the march at Lake LaBarge, we cremated Sam McGee.
Well, now, Sam McGee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows.
Why, he left his home in the south to roam around the pole, God only knows.
He was always cold, but the land of gold seemed to hold him like a spell.
Though he'd often say in his homely way that he'd sooner lived in hell.
On a Christmas day, we were mushing our way over the Dawson Trail.
Talk of your cold through the parka's fold is stabbed like a driven nail.
If our eyes we'd closed and our lashes froze, till sometimes we couldn't see.
It wasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam McGee.
And that very night, as we lay packed tight in our ropes beneath the snow,
and the dogs were fed, and the stars overhead were dancing heel and toe.
And he turned to me, and Cap, says he, "I'll cash in this trip if I guess.
And if I do, I'm asking that you won't refuse my last request.
Well, he seemed so low that I couldn't say no, and he says with a sort of moan,
It's the cursed cold, and it's got right hold till I'm chilled through to the bone.
yet tain't being dead, it's my awful dread of the icy grave that pains.
So I want you to swear that foul or fair, you'll cremate my last remains.
Now a pal's last need is a thing to heed, so I swore I would not fail.
And we started on at the streak of dawn, and God, he looked ghastly pale.
He was crouched on the sleigh and he raved all day of his home in Tennessee.
But by nightfall, a corpse was all that was left of Sam McGee.
There wasn't a breath in that land of death, and I hurried, horror-driven.
With the corpse half hid, and I couldn't get rid because of a promise given.
It was lashed on the sleigh, and it seemed to say, you may tax your brawn and brains.
But you promised true, and it's up to you to cremate those last remains.
Now a promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code.
In the days to come, though my lips were numb, in my heart how I cursed the load.
In the long, long night by the lone firelight, as the huskies round in a ring,
Howled out their woes to the homeless snows. Oh God, how I loathed the thing.
and every day that quiet clay seemed to heavy and heavier grow,
And on we went, though the dogs were spent, and the grub was getting low.
and the trail was bad, and I felt half mad, but I swore I would not give in,
And I'd often sing to that hateful thing as it hearkened with a grin.
till I came to the marge of Lake Labarge, and a derelict there lay.
It was jammed in the ice, and I saw with a trice it was called the Alice May.
The planks I tore from the cabin floor, and I lit the boiler fire.
Some coal I found that was lying around, and I heaped the fuel higher.
The flames just soared, and the furnace roared. Such a blaze you seldom see.
And I burrowed a hole in the glowing coal, and I stuffed in Sam McGee.
Then I made a hike, for I didn't like to hear him sizzle so.
And the heavens scowled, and the huskies howled, and the wind began to blow.
It was icy cold, but the hot sweat rolled down my cheeks, and I don't know why.
And the greasy smoke in an inky cloak went streaking down the sky.
I do not know how long in the snow I wrestled with grisly fear.
But the stars came out and danced all about, ere again I ventured near.
I was sick with dread, but I bravely said, I'll just take a peep inside.
Well, I guess he's cooked. And it's time I looked, then the door I opened wide.
And there sat Sam, looking cool and calm in the heart of the furnace roar.
And he wore a smile, you could see a mile, and he said, please close the door.
For it's fine in here, and I greatly fear you'll let in the cold and storm.
Since I left Plum Tree down in Tennessee, it's the first time I've been warm. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold, and the Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake Labarge we cremated Sam McGee.
Still taping. Okay, thank you.
Somebody say, hey, that's it. We should say the one.
I see yellow light.
Hey, should we?
Oh,
You know
yeah.
that part where he goes, hold on, Sam. These must have been dirty candy.
2, 3.
In the darkness of a sepulchre, beneath the shifting sands, the mummy moves within its sheath of rotten linen bands. Inside a stone sarcophagus, beneath the pyramid, it moves its cloth-enshrouded hands and pushes back the lid. It arises in that chamber where no living thing has stepped, in that chamber chill and airless where for centuries it has slept. Then it stumbles through the mazes of the labyrinthine halls, and with powers supernatural beats down the earthen walls. Now it walks the scorching desert, all its being filled with rage. Ancient rage is born for eons since a dim primordial age. Now it staggers blindly onward, mud-encrusted, caked with clay, and it permeates the desert with the stench of foul decay. Now it must unleash its fury, spew the venom of its wrath, and woe to those poor souls who cross the mummy's mindless path. For the mummy will destroy them, they will perish, racked with pain. There is terror in the desert, for the mummy walks again.
The crocodile went into the dentist and sat down in the chair. The dentist Dennis said, "Now tell me, sir, why does it hurt and where?" The crocodile said, "I'll tell you the truth. I have a terrible pain in my tooth." And he opened his jaw so wide, so wide. The dentist, he just cried right inside. The dentist said, "Oh, isn't this fun?" And pulled the teeth out, one by one. Crocodile cried, "Oh, you're hurting me so. Please put down your pliers and let me go." The dentist laughed with a ho, ho, ho. "I still have 12 to go." Suddenly the jaws went snap. The dentist was gone right off the map. Where he went, one could only guess. What's for dentist, more or less. Ickle me, pickle me, tickle me too, went for a ride in a flying shoe. Hooray, what fun, it's time we flew, said Ickle me, pickle me, tickle me too. Ickle me, pickle me, tickle me. Ickle was captain, pickle was crew. Tickle served coffee and mulligan stew. As higher and higher, higher they flew. Ickle me, pickle me, tickle me too. Ickle me, tickle me too, over the sun beyond the blue. Hold on, stay in, I hope we do, cried Ickle me, tickle me too. Ickle me, tickle me too. Never returned to the world, they knew, and no one knows what happened to dear Ickle me, tickle me too.
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the flings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against the sea of troubles, and by opposing end them, to die, to sleep, no more, and by sleep to say we end the heartache of 1,000 natural shots, that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation, devoutly to be wished, to die, to sleep, perhaps to dream. Aye, there's the rub, for in that sleep of death what dreams may come.
When we have shuffled off,
When we have shuffled off this mortal coil, must give us pause. There is a respect that makes calamity of so long life. If the world passed by me and offered me to choose the greatest treasure of them all, I'd only just want you. If the parade went on forever and offered me wealth and fame, I'd only pause to notice at the mention of your name. For no wealth could be greater than
no wealth could buy the pleasure of
For no wealth could buy the pleasure I feel from just your smile, and no glory could be greater than to be with you for a while. For all that life has given me and all that's left to do, the greatest treasure I'll never have a greater moment than a moment spent with